Okay, let's try to avoid the turn 1 clusterfuck. Go, nail it!
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I am just another sim guy. Thanks for joining me today. As you'll see by the title of the video, we are now at the 3-week mark of my iRacing tryout. I don't know what to call it. It's not really a review. It's not a trial. You know, I bought a cheap membership in the summer sale, and I wanted to give an honest overview of the road from rookie onwards and the challenges. I don't know what to call it. Maybe it is a trial. It's a rookie trial. So as you can see by the title, I'm 3 weeks in and I've hit the wall, guys. I've hit a bit of a wall with this. Now don't get me wrong, I'm still having a huge amount of fun. But what I am finding is there's a couple of challenges now and I've got decisions to make. So what I wanted to cover today was what I've done so far, what I think these challenges mean for me in terms of what I might do over the next few weeks, and hopefully other people have got to the same sort of crossroads. But also what made me hit this wall. I want to talk a little bit about why I hit this wall, and perhaps maybe that is different for me. So yeah, thanks for joining me. Let's just go through and have a bit of a chat. So you'll see in the background, I took the BMW M2 in the lower class series to one of these circuits that's reasonably new, I think, to iRacing. It's Circuit de Lebanon, I think it's southern France. Very hilly, very windy, a little bit, you know, a couple of hairpins, very technical. I mean, I've got no pace at all around here. I did 2 races. And my goal was literally to get promoted. So as you can see there, I let that guy go. I got really nervous when people are behind me. I don't know the track very well. I brake a lot earlier than a lot of people do because I was learning it on the fly. You know, my first couple of laps were practice, then it was quality, and then we're in.
10 minutes to go.
I'd not driven this car before either, so you know, it was what could have been a terrible combination. But I got to be honest, I was getting a little bit bored of Laguna Seca. Like, that seems to crop up all the time. It was on the spec Ford, it's come up on the Ray 1600s, I don't know about the Formula Vs, but it was in the production car, and I'm like, oh, I love the track, but anything gets a little bit samey after a while, doesn't it? So I just fancied a bit of a change, and I also wanted to explore as much of the base content as I can as part of this sort of tryout period. Anyway, so yeah, the track's great, the car's great, the graphics look amazing on the interior. Shame I can't really drive it. But yeah, why have I hit the wall? Well, I've done quite a lot of sports car races. So if you've watched the earlier videos, you'll know. If you haven't, check them out. But I got out of rookies and sports car in 2 races. Then I started progressing through the D and did a few races, had a couple of unfortunate accidents, got out of D eventually, and I'm doing it the immediate sort of promotion pathway, which means you get to a safety rating of 4.0, you get promoted up to the next license. So you fulfill the minimum requirements of racing at the level of that license. So for example, in Class D, you've got to do 4 Class D races, and you've got to get your license up to 3.0, your safety rating license up to 3.0, and then at the end of the season you'll get promoted. But if you keep working on the safety aspect and get that up to 4.0, you get promotion straight away. So like I say, I've gone through the promotion for formulas, and I've gone through the promotion for sports cars. So I've done 18 sports car races and I've done 14 formula races, and both of them have gone from rookie through D and up to license C, and this is where I feel I've hit a bit of this wall.
Okay, Mark,
I also wanted to ask a question to everyone, and I'd really appreciate some comments on this.
Right, the guy ahead of us is,
you know, what is it?
7.
The safety rating's great, and you know, I worked really hard to be safe in every race, but what does that cost? So what is the sacrifice that you're making in order to get up these license classes? Am I sacrificing some fun? Am I sacrificing any competitiveness? Because as you can see in some of the races, as soon as people get near me, I get a bit nervous and I tend to slow down, let them pass, which is great, but that's not sustainable if you're looking to up your iRating, I think there's a balance, and I think there's at one end of the scales you've got the working on your safety rating to get up the licenses, but that's only worthwhile if you need content at the higher license levels. If you've got no desire to do that, then you could have a higher iRating by doing better in the races and not worrying about the contact. So when I say at what cost has my license progression come at, I'm wondering if it's come at a cost of maybe a little bit less enjoyment and less competitive racing in some of my races, because I'm so worried about my safety rating getting damaged. So that's an interesting one, but where I feel like I might have hit the wall with it is content. So don't get me wrong, I can race as much and as many times as I want in the base content that I've got, in the rookie races and the Class D races. But to get my licenses in both Formula and Sports Car from C to B, I need to participate in Class C races and get my safety rating up. And as far as I can see, there are no Class C cars or tracks combined, if that makes sense, in the free base content. So what I mean by that is there's like a Mazda series with the MX-5 which comes in the base content, but there's a Mazda series called Advanced Mazda, and
okay, Mark,
every track in the schedule is paid
the gap
content.
ahead
So
is
whilst
now
I've got the
2.5.
car, I'd need to buy the track, at least one, to be able to participate in the 12-week season. And if I do buy that one, unless it comes around again a second time in the season, I can only participate for 1 week of that season. So that tells you that you probably need to buy several tracks. And it's the same the other way around. There are some tracks that there are free tracks that have races on them at Class C, but they're in cars that you don't own. So it might well be that you need to buy the car to participate. So I could keep racing and I could keep enjoying it on the tracks and the cars that I've got and not pay a penny. But this is where you hit the wall, and this is where they get you. Now, it has only taken me 3 weeks to get to this point, and I do get that I've been sweating it a bit. You know, like I say, when I talk about the amount of races I managed to squeeze in, there's 32 races in 3 weeks. That's 10 a week. That's more than one a day. There's probably, I'm quite lucky to have had the time to do that. So I can get that it might take people that only do 1 or 2 races a week. You know, you're getting 3 months of enjoyment out of working your way up that license. So this isn't typical for everyone, but everyone will reach this point at some point. So I think it's just an interesting sort of conversation starter as to where do you go from here. Do you bite the bullet? Do people buy the content at this point? Or do people just live with what's free, stay in the rookies, and, you know, perfect the craft on the tracks that are available to them in the cars that are available to them? And I don't think that's a bad thing. Perhaps I'm looking at it the wrong way. Perhaps trying to fast track up the license levels is going to come back and bite you when you get to those higher classes and you don't have the experience. You don't have the experience of being side by side in a bigger sort of pack of vehicles at high speed, and you're going to make mistakes. You're going to panic. So maybe trying to race up the levels and the license levels wasn't a realistic way of looking at things, and a sustainable way of looking at things anyway. Who knows? Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe I just have to race and have fun. Maybe the focus should have not been quite so much on the safety, but a balance of safety and iRating, because when I say at what cost, I have seen my iRating plummet. I think at the moment it's lower than it is when you start the game. I can check that actually while we're talking. So yeah, in sports car, for example, 18 starts, average start is 9th, average finish is 8th. So I generally finish higher than I start. I've only led for 1 lap out of 249 laps. I'm averaging just over 3 incident points a race. I've been in the top 5 30% of my races. But if I go to my iRating in sports car, it's currently at 1293, and I think that you start off at 13. When it first starts grading you, got 1350. So whilst it's gone up quite high, it was at 1600 at one point. I think by going into higher class races and being given a high number, which means iRacing
Just 2 minutes left,
you
2
should
minutes to go.
finish near the top. I'm so worried about my safety rating is that I finish mid-pack. I end up losing iRating and not gaining it.
P8.
So maybe my focus should have been on, how to drive safely, but also how to defend, and how to get my elbows out and stand up for myself a little bit more on the track and not just let people past. In Formula racing, I've been a bit better. My I rating on Formula is up to nearly 1700. But again, it's going to be hard to progress that into B without. Well, it's going to be impossible to progress into B without buying something, which I don't mind doing. But I didn't think I'd get to this point quite so soon. And don't get me wrong, it's not iRacing's fault that I've sweated it, and it's also not a bad thing that you can stay in the lower classes and get more experience. But yeah, this is where I'm at. So love to hear your comments and ideas, and to help me guide my decision on where I go from here. Please do leave me a comment, open up a dialogue. Be really interested to hear what people think and what you've done when you've reached this point. It is also worth pointing out that there's lots of base content that I've yet to try or barely tried. So I will take advantage of this and go back to dirt road races that I started in the trophy trucks, do a few more of them, maybe get to the next license in that, but that was fun. And I've not touched any of the oval stuff, dirt or otherwise. So, there is still some content that I can get some value from. So it's not that I'm saying that I've capped out and maxed out all that iRacing's got to offer. But anyway, make sure you like and subscribe and get involved with the next videos. We've got some great videos coming on not just other iRacing topics, but other sims as well. And check out the website for some news about Project Motor Racing and what might be coming next on Assetto Corsa Evo. And our next videos are going to be talking about iRacing's Rain, which I think is amazing, and some must-have apps that I've started to use on iRacing, which have really helped with the driving experience. And so I've done a bit of research on what the most popular apps are for iRacers to take advantage of, all free. So I'll put some links in those videos, but do make sure you sub so that you get notified about those. They'll be coming out in the next week or so. You can connect with us on Discord for community races, and yeah, just get involved, and we'll hopefully see you on the track soon for some private stuff that we can organise. So it's been great, thanks for sticking with me, and I'll catch you in the next one. You've been great, I've been just another sim guy. I'll see you soon.
Well done, mate. Good finish. That's the end of the session.